blood and flesh.
Assalamu alaikum, peace be unto you. You be peace. Assalam Allah. Peace to the black gods, peace to the black goddesses, shalom, hotep, whatever way you say peace. Messenger Elijah Muhammad teaches us that peace is a universal greeting which only the righteous abide by willingly. Beloved, we're going to pick up from yesterday. Yesterday we covered the Nation of Islam's December Ramadan guide, which was originally intended to just be like a little 50-page little guide for December Ramadan, just to touch on Ramadan. However, as I started doing my little elaborations, the messenger's message in this age of mess is so complex. It was way more complex than I realized, so I was like, 50 pages is not going to cut it. So you got over 200 pages. I mean, over 200 pages in probably like 2 weeks. I mean, so, you know, it's just so much I wanted to get off my mind regarding Ramadan. We giving your viewers the exact quotes, the exact years. We're giving you primary sources. Like, it's not my opinion. See, people don't understand what I be trying to do. What I'm trying to do, family, is this. When it comes to organized religions or spiritual sciences, what usually happens, whether it's ancient Kemet or Egypt, Nubia, the Sudan, Kush, Ethiopia, Azania, South Africa, whether it's Becca that becomes Mecca, what have you. It could be ancient Babylon, modern day Iraq, ancient Persia, which is now Iran, whatever. What usually happens is, mathematically, the people usually, after the physical death of their prophet or their Nabi or their Rasul or their messenger, the people begin to literally just spook up their teachings to the point that within 1 or 2 generations, the original teachings of Prophet Musa, civilizing the devil in the caves and hillsides of Europe, turns into Moses freeing slaves in Egypt, when Egypt, like, ain't no slaves build these pyramids and all that kind of stuff. It literally turns into pseudoscience, like a dark-skinned black prophet Yahshua. Like, people be like, did Jesus really? His name isn't even Jesus. Like, Christians don't even know his name. They don't know his historicity. Listen, I didn't say history. History is nonsense. History is not a science. This is what I want y'all to do. Ask AI, ChatGPT, is history a science? You're like, no, history is not. Like, y'all think history is a science. That's part of the problem. You see, people take, like, if I study Islam, I mean, and, you know, literally, you be thinking that our beloved Muslim brothers and sisters is talking about the Quran, but they really talking about hadiths. But ask AI ChatGPT, when was the first hadith written? They be like, the first hadith came like 100, 200 years after the Rasulullah, thoughts of peace be upon him, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. After he physically died, then they wrote them hadiths. They never seen him, never met him, but like 100, 200 years later, they wrote down all these hadiths. And people take the hadiths over the Holy Quran. That's part of the problem. It's 2025. What do you see happening? In the Nation of Islam, we see people are literally like, do you follow Farrakhan? Do you follow Salis Muhammad? Are you with Jeremiah Shabazz? Are you a 5%er? Are you with Brother Minister Levi Kareem? Are you following the Supreme Minister John Muhammad or Jan Muhammad or Brother Nasir Makir? It's ridiculous. It's like you don't take and argue, do you follow Joshua or Aaron? No, they're ministers for Musa or Moses. We follow the message of Moses or Musa. You don't argue, do you follow Peter, Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, or do you follow Paul, who was Saul, the wicked guy? No, we follow the teachings of Yeshua, Isa, Jesus. Do you follow Uthman or Abu Bakr? Are you a Sunni or a Shia? Ahmadiyya, Hanafi, Ansari, Habali, Maliki. What school of thought is you with? Tricknology all day. Yaqub taught the devils how to divide and conquer the original people. It's everywhere. There's Orthodox this. Is you an Orthodox Jew? Are you just, a Jew? I mean, they be like, are you a Roman Catholic? Are you an Orthodox Catholic? Are you just a Catholic? Are you just universal? It's just, that is part of the problem. People take the teachings of the disciples over the teachings of the master. I'm simply telling y'all, listen, family, go back to the teachings of, don't pay me no attention. Don't take what I say. Say what listen, ever since, my whole life, I, make all kinds of mistakes. Don't take what I'm saying. The only reason I'm in accord is when I submit my individual pineal gland, my individual will, to the collective will of the Supreme Allah who came in the person of Master Muhammad, to whom all praises due forever, for his first, his last, and his only messenger, the very most honorable Elijah Muhammad. If I'm not telling you what the messenger said and did, you guys to be like, we ain't working with none of that. You know what I'm saying? But if I'm coming to you, explaining to you the messenger's message is age of mess, you supposed to be like, listen, I don't care nothing about Alif ain't asking me to send him some money or his ex or whatever. I don't have no followers. I don't want no followers. I'm not trying to be your mentor. I'm not going to come save you. I'm not going to call a mother plane, come down and pay your phone bill, your mortgage, your rent, your medical bills. None of that pseudo spooky stuff that people believe in. I ain't working with none of that. I ain't working with temples. I'm not working with masjids, mosques, churches, synagogues, whatever, I'm not working with the universities. No, I'm simply trying to get people to understand at the crux of the messenger's message in this age of mess. He's teaching us the black man is God, the white man is the devil. Plain and simple. He's saying we make our own heaven on earth. We make our own hell on earth. Plain and simple. It's not really that complicated. I mean, like, I could back it up with scriptures, the Bible, the Quran, the Torah, the Septuagint, the Vulgate, whatever. But at the end of the day, family, when you look at the messenger's message in this age of mess, what he's trying to do is give you the knowledge of yourself so that you can do for yourself. What is his teachings? In 1972, Elijah Meets the Press, he explained that after he is gone, the Nation of Islam will continue. In fact, I'm going to dig that up. Hold on, one family. In fact, I'm not even going to get into all that because it'll take away from what I'm supposed to be covering, part 2 of the Nation of Islam, December Ramadan. We're going to stick with the Ramadan. I know it in my head. Basically, the message told us after he's gone, we will be gods over our own homes. He said, they asked him, the Nation of Islam will continue after you're gone, will it be like it is today, led by, local mosques? He's like, no. After I'm gone, it's going to be a whole new thing, basically. Now, I mean, like, my followers is going to follow these teachings like the founding fathers followed the Constitution of the United States of America. So the restricted laws of Islam is our righteous foundation. That's like the 10 commandments for the Nation of Islam. Our lessons are our blessings. The original and divine and direct teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is like the Holy Bible or the Holy Qur'an. It's the pure teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I mean, so we don't want to go away from the messenger's message in this age of mess. Let me pull up this. Hold on 1 second here. All right, so we're going to cover book 2 of the Nation of Islam's December Ramadan Guide. I'm just going to cover a few summaries, if you will, from the chapters. Okay. As I explained yesterday, the shahada. Yes, FOIs and MGTs believe in the shahada. We take our shahada. We say, La ilaha illallah Muhammadan Abdullah Rasulullah. Why? Because Elijah Muhammad said this. I'm going to quote it. I'm going to read it. The messenger said, we say Allah is God. We say in Arabic language, Allahu Akbar. We say in the Arabic language, La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. We that say that in your midst today should make you tremble and go off and commit suicide. Those babies crying in the name of Allah, they were never taught by you to worship. You know that your time must be short. Quote by Messenger Elijah Muhammad in Message to the Black Man in America, page 167, published in 1965. So the message says, look at it, family. We say Allahu Akbar. We say La ilaha illallah Muhammadan Abdullah Rasulullah. We bear witness there is no God but God. And we bear witness that Prophet Muhammad of 1400 years ago is the Khatim Nabi. In the Holy Quran, that's called the seal of the prophets. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that Prophet Muhammad was a dark-skinned Arab black man. Yeah, I know you pseudoscientists think he was white because of theology of time. You don't take a quote from the messenger. You got to look at the messenger teachings. It's real important, family. Now, I mean, the next chapter, he tells us about fasting. When fasting is practiced for good results will follow. He goes on, but, B-U-T, if we fast as the Bible mentions in Isaiah just for debate, our fast is no good. The Bible teaches that the facts of people go out and tell others that I had a dream and then call dreams visions are not accepted. Some people tell stories about something they accomplished on the fast that they did not accomplish. The Bible answers such a person in these words. If you dream a dream, tell a dream, and do not try to tell a dream for a vision from the Lord when you did not get such a vision. We must remember that we cannot be holier than thou unless we are really holy. So let us say of ourselves what we really are and not what we are not, because it is good in the eyesight of God for us to speak the truth. By Messenger Elijah Muhammad, The Holy How to Eat to Live, Book 2, page 47, published in 1972. MGT, during the Messenger's table talks around 1972, the MGT basically, she had went to Mecca, she made a Hajj or whatever, and she was telling the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, "Dear Holy Apostle, when I was in Mecca, you know, my mind was so open, I was able to read minds, and I would just say, so-and-so is going to come by my house at such and such a time, and just like that, they would appear at my house." The messenger tried to be humble with the sister. He knew she was spooky, talking some pseudoscience, but he did it real with tact and diplomacy like he always do. So he explained to the sister, he's like, if you was thinking about him and he happened to ring your doorbell or happened to knock on the door just as you was thinking about him, that tells you what? Mathematically. That means he already got up, got dressed, and was already driving or walking towards your house. So that the time he knocked on that door and you was thinking about him, he already was on his way there anyway. Had nothing to do with you. I mean, but people with their misinterpretations, their misrepresentations, they confuse dreams with visions. I mean, everybody has dreams. The Bible says when you dream a dream, say you dreamed the dream. The Bible says, well, why did the 24 scientists put in the Bible, in the last days, the old men will dream dreams, but the young men, they will see visions. There's a difference between a dream and a vision. Master Muhammad explained, he said, brother, you know what I mean? I had a dream one time that I came over here and was throwing them Rockefellers and DuPont, these 10% rich slave makers of poor, into a lake of fire. I see my dream coming true. I mean, so Master Muhammad, he's like, brother, we don't pay no attention to dreams. I know, black people. Dr. Martin Luther King had a dream. He had a dream that one day little black boys and little black girls would walk hand in hand with white boys and white girls. It didn't happen in the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s. It didn't happen in 2025. It's not going to happen 10 years from now, 100 years from now, 1 trillion years. You cannot violate the natural laws of the universe. Protons and electrons just simply don't integrate. It just don't work like that in this universe. It's nothing personal. See, a lot of black people take stuff personal. See, I don't take it personal. It's like, if I see a shark eating a tuna, I'm not thinking, oh, the shark hates the tuna. No, the shark loves tuna. It's just his nature is to eat them tunas. See what I'm saying? You know, it's like the chicken hawk is not swooping down, snatching up the rabbit or the mouse because it hates the rabbit or the mouse. It's snatching up because it's like, it's nothing personal. I got to eat. I mean, what you expect me to just sit back and watch y'all eat off the plate? I mean, it's like, you rabbits is stealing all kind of vegetables. Y'all eating the carrots and you know, I mean, y'all killing the carrots. Y'all killing the celery. You know what I mean? Radishes or whatever. You know what I mean? You know, it's like y'all mice is killing the grain. You know what I mean? Everybody in this universe has to understand we live in a universe of duality. See, everybody is thinking different about this, but it's nothing personal. Don't take the universal order of things, Father, God, Mother Nature, personal. Protons and electrons, proton, the positive forces. We spiritually calls it the 5%, the poor righteous teachers who do not believe in the teachings of the 10%. The 10% are what? The electron, the negative forces. They are the rich, the slave makers of the poor who teach the poor what? They teach the poor lies. It ain't nothing personal. That's what they support. That's why they're here. The devil is here to be the devil. The devil's supposed to do devilish men. You, as God or goddess, supposed to do godliness. They supposed to do wickedness. You supposed to do righteousness. Your righteousness will overcome their wickedness. Your dominant ideas will overcome their recessive ideas. Black versus white, young versus old, male versus female, living versus dead, truth versus falsehood, darkness versus... That's just the dichotomy of the entire... Anything you can imagine in your brain has a polar opposite. Dr. Yaqub Malik Shabazz, according to Messenger Elijah Muhammad in 1965, a message to the black man, He studied that. He was playing with 2 pieces of steel. Imagine a 6-year-old, he got 2 rocks, called lodestones. Look it up, lodestones. It's natural magnets. You get a rock from the North Pole, a rock from the South Pole, put them together, they attract. You get a rock from the North Pole, a rock from the North Pole, put them together, they repel. Unlike attracts, like repel, it's mathematics, it's cause and effect, it's actions and reactions. You got pseudo-religious people like, oh, there has to be a mystery God. Scientists don't know what they're talking about. Scientists say in the beginning was a Big Bang. Scientists tell you before the Big Bang, they like, we have no idea what the heck was going on. We just don't know. I mean, if you look at Al Sayers arrived, and, you know, the messenger said, how came that first God, Elijah? This is what he taught in Al Sayers arrived in 1974. It's an old Savior's Day tape, but I'm just using the book because you could just look up Al Sayers arrived. Now, I mean, he explained, he said, you see, we have these atoms out here. He said, okay, you take one of these atoms and you crack it open. And what's inside of it? Smaller atoms, baby atoms. I said, okay, you take that atom, you crack that open. What's in that? Even smaller atoms. And you keep cracking those atoms open. I'm gonna turn this phone off, fam. You keep cracking those atoms open until eventually you get to the smallest part. You go to what they call a quark, or pure energy, quantum physics. The laws on that level is, you know, the physics is different from what we know as known cause and effect. But that don't change the law. See, they be like, the Christian's position is there has to be a mystery God, because how did the universe come about? In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The scientists like, that makes sense if you understand it as a spiritual science. The problem is when you get into, on the first day, God did this, and the second day he did that. On the third day, he made the sun, moon, and stars. And it's like your math is off now. I mean, like you mathematically, scientifically, that's not adding up. I mean, that's not reality. You see, it's like cause and effect. Now, I mean, the scientists admit that the scientists simply don't know day minus one. They don't know what was before what they call the Big Bang. I respect that. They don't know. So they go off what they do know. Cool. Organized religions fill the gap by saying, we know. In the beginning was a mystery God, a magical God, the great big Wizard of Oz. And he said, abracadabra, and the universe came about. Now you're getting into some pseudoscience. You see what I'm saying? Now you're trying to give me some Santa Claus teaching, some Easter Bunny stuff, some leprechauns, some tooth fairy stuff, some Sandman going to bring me some money for my bad tooth. And like, it's your responsibility to show and prove that. They be like, Jesus was a historical figure. Like, my man, step one, you don't even know his name. His name was, there was no letter J's 2,000 years ago. Like there was no Jehovah. You can't have a Jehovah Witness without a Yahweh. You can't have a John without a Yah. I mean, there's no letter J, so you don't even know his name. I know you don't know his teachings. I know you don't know his historicity because you don't even know his name. That's how spook. Like he himself, read St. John, you read Psalms chapter 82, verse 6. The Old Testament is teaching that I have said you are all gods and all of your children are the Most High. Jesus' thing was I didn't come to change the law, but to fulfill it. The Jews was going to kill him. They was trying to stone him. He's like, for which one of my good works do y'all seek to stone me? They was like, we don't seek to stone you for your good works. We seek to stone you for blasphemy, because you, being a man, makest thyself God. And he's like, you spooky. spooky pseudo 85% mentally dead. Is it not written in the Old Testament that ye are all gods? The church ain't teaching you that. Christians ain't teaching you that. Pastors are not teaching you that you are God. They're not telling you that in the New Testament. It teaches you, let this mind that's in Christ Jesus be in you. It's not, they've ignoring the part where Jesus is like, greater works than these will you do. You're the God. You're the goddess. You are Yahweh. You are Jesus. They're not telling you that. They don't want you to know that. Why? It's Christmas season. You know how much money, how many billions of dollars is made selling Easter eggs and chocolate-covered bunnies and cutting down Christmas trees and putting up Christmas lights and eating pork Christmas hams and yams and pumpkin pies and sweet potato pies. And do you understand how the 10% rich slave makers of the poor love this technology? They love that you're blind, deaf, and dumb. They love that you think that when you physically die, you're going to live. They get paid off you. They get paid off of the masses' ignorance. So that when a 5%er, a poor righteous teacher who don't believe in the teachers of the 10%, they come or we come and try to teach you knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of yourself. Y'all look at us like we crazy. I mean, y'all want to stone us like y'all stone Jesus. Like, yo, what is he talking about? You know what I mean? Like, what? It's like, no, family. We love you so much. We care about you so much. We can't put our teeth on our tongue. We can't let your blood be on our hands. We have to do our duty and teach you about you. We have to give you the knowledge of. I know it's comfortable and warm and cozy in that bed and you just in there dreaming. We got to put the light on. We got to wake you up. The time is now, family. It's time for you to make motions, not your evil motion. We need you to make motion to get in accordance with the times. Understand the reality of the world in which you live. As chapter 22, verse 6 of the Holy Quran teaches us, Allahu and al-Haq, the God is nothing but reality. Huwa Allahi, he the God, not Ru Allahi, the spook God, the spirit God. No, Huwa Allahi. Say he Allah is one, family. There is no mystery God. Never was and never will be. So stop calling your dreams visions. Why? Your false dream is not going to come into fruition last year, this year, next year, 100 years, 1,000,000 years, 1,000,000,000, 1,000,000,000,000, 1,000,000,000,000, 1,000,000,000,000, 1,000,000,000, 1,000,000,000, 1,000,000,000. It will never come. It's not mathematics. It's a misinterpretation or intentional delusion or an outright lie that you're giving to the people. It's not going to happen, family. It's simply not. You're not going to see Jesus. They didn't see Jesus come back 2,000 years ago. They didn't see Jesus come back 500 years ago, 1,000 years ago. You're not going to see Jesus come back today. You're not going to see Jesus come back tomorrow morning. You're not going to see Jesus come back next week, next month, 1,000 years, billion years, 86 trillion years in the future. You will never see, and you have never seen an actual physically dead person come back from the grave. It's a slave teaching. It's to teach us to believe that when we physically die, a white ghost will magically come up out of our black dead bodies and float up in the air like a blunt. You see this white mist of smoke come out like, that's a black and mild tone. And it's going to float up and go past the Earth's atmosphere that's 6 miles high, go past the moon, 243,000 miles away. It's going to go past the sun, 93 million miles away, 150 million kilometers. It's going to go past Alpha Centauri, the closest star, 25 trillion miles. It's technology. Wake up. Like, I seriously just don't have the time to waste with such spooky people. My thing is like, y'all go ahead and do that spooky stuff on y'all. You see, I'll bite my tongue and fall back. Like, yeah, I'm out. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't messing with these jokers is just in the way. They just that spooky. Like, they just in the way. You know what I mean? So, out of love, out of respect, our obedience to Allah came to person master for Muhammad, his first, last, and only message is like, we got to do our job. I mean, we got to do our part. Now, I mean, regardless of the barbs and insults, the bow and arrows, the mudslinging, we got to help these people help themselves. Praise be to Allah. Came to person master for Muhammad. You know what I mean? So, another chapter we covered is December Ramadan. The messenger says, and I'm quoting, "This is in no way a fast. When we abstain from food for so short a time as for early morning to after sundown and darkness begins to appear, we cannot call this a fast. For we are eating the same way that we have always been eating, one meal in that day. It is no fast to me and to my followers to eat a meal after sundown. We cannot call it a fast. A fast should be from 2 to 3 days without eating food. If we are seeking spiritual advancement, we should fast for 3 days. How to Eat to Live, Book 2, page 50, 1972. All right. Let's look at some of this here, family. Let's get into this for 1 minute here. Let's look at the chapter on, I ain't gonna read the whole chapter, it's kind of long, but we're gonna give you some quotes from My Love and Loyalty to the Supreme Law in Person, just to put it in context. I wrote this book first and foremost because of my unshakable love and loyalty to the Supreme Law, the Supreme Being, who came in the person of Master Muhammad, to whom all praises are due forever. Everything that I am, everything that I teach, write, build, share, and sacrifice for begins with him. My life, health, resurrection, discipline, mind, and mission are rooted in him. He lifted me up out of the grave of American ignorance and restored me to my nature as a divine black man. This book is a humble expression of gratitude. It is a living testimony that the word of Allah in person is sufficient, complete, perfect, and eternal. My absolute respect for his first, last, and only messenger. Second only to Allah is my devotion to his first, last, and only messenger, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. Without the messenger, we would not know Allah. Without the messenger, we would not know ourselves. Without the messenger, we would not know the law, the diet, the discipline, the purpose, or the correct understanding of fasting, as we call it, in this critical hour. This book stands as a reaffirmation that Elijah Muhammad's teachings are not outdated, not weakened, not negotiable, not to be altered for popularity or acceptance. His words are the standard. This book is written to protect his guidance and make it plain for future generations. My desire to see the holy nation of Islam strong. I wrote this book because I sincerely desire to see the holy nation of Islam strong, conscious, serious, relevant, prosperous, unified. The nation is more than an organization. It is the kingdom of God in embryo. It deserves literature that reflects its divine seriousness and original scientific foundation. Our December Ramadan must never become a ritual without understanding. It must remain a tool of resurrection, discipline, purification, unity, and separation. This book strengthens that foundation. My respect. My respect for Sunni Islam and other spiritual traditions. Although Allah and His Messenger gave us a unique path, I maintain deep respect for Sunni Islam and appreciation for all sincere worshipers, scholars, and servants of God, whether they identify as Muslims, Christians, Hebrews, Buddhists, or practitioners of ancient spiritual sciences. Every sincere seeker contributes something to the advancement of humanity. The Quran says God raised prophets among all nations. My intention is never division. It is clarity. It is truth without compromise. This book acknowledges those sincere paths while affirming the divine distinction of Allah in person and His Messenger. My commitment. My commitment to peace, truth, freedom, justice, and equality. This book exists because I am fully committed to the eternal principles of peace, truth, freedom, justice, and equality. These are not slogans. They are universal laws that govern every atom of the universe. Where these principles are present, life flourishes. Where they are absent, life decays. December Ramadan strengthens these principles within the believer. Fasting clarifies the mind, sharpens judgment, resets the body, and elevates the soul. This book was written to help others experience that elevation. My maturity. My maturity in a worldwide struggle for truth. After more than 4 decades, 40 years, family, as a minister, I have grown in spiritual maturity and in my understanding of the worldwide struggle for truth, freedom, and justice. I recognize the sincerity of white Muslims of faith whose hearts are clean and righteous despite the historical crimes of their ancestors, and understand that the devil is the devil regardless of place or time. But the messenger in Al-Sayed Arab in 1974 wrote a complete chapter on a few white people are Muslims by faith, though not by nature. He said, you got a whole country of them over there in Turkey. They got a flag just like us, but that moon is on the other side. He said, good done by anyone has its rewards. These white people that submit their will to the will of Allah, they'll be blessed to see the hereafter. They're not going to come integrate with us in the Nation of Islam, but they'll be able to live in peace amongst themselves. This is the messenger's teachings. Like, don't take it personal. If you believe in the messenger teachings, you accept that. If you don't believe in the message, don't be like, because Ali said it. I'm telling you, the messenger taught this. Ain't my teacher. This is what Master Muhammad taught. Master Muhammad like, yo, my mom was a righteous white Muslim. My dad married her, gave birth to me. I mean, don't mix your pseudo personal opinions up with the messenger's message in this age of mess, because you're making bitter. You're making a mess. You're causing confusion with your technology. Let me go to okay, this is a relevant subject. In this chapter here, we go into science, the importance of understanding. Our lessons teaches us that we are to study the sciences of life, all right? The Nation of Islam standard, science over spookism. The Nation of Islam is built on facts, mathematics, science, truth, law, discipline, divine guidance through Allah and His Messenger. Not on mysticism, superstition, personal dreams, emotional fantasies, occult visions, spooky interpretations. The Messenger's word in 1972 are a timeless warning. Fasting should produce truth, clarity, discipline, and righteousness. It should not produce spiritual arrogance, delusion, or false claims. Dreams are dreams. Visions are visions. The two are not the same. We serve the law best when we speak the truth, stay grounded, remain humble, and keep the teachings pure. In this chapter, let me see this here. It's a little long. I'm not going to read this whole thing, but I do want to cover some of this. This is basically going into like the solstice. All right, listen. Let's look at some ancient stuff, if you will. Which ancient civilization fasted around the December solstice? Many ancient peoples fasted, purified, or restricted food around the winter solstice. That's between December the 20th and the 25th, because it marked the shortest day, the rebirth of the sun, cosmic transition, ritual cleansing before the new year. Here are the main ones. Number A, ancient civilizations that fasted or purified themselves during the winter solstice. KMT, Kemet, ancient Black Egypt, if you will. Egyptians honored the birth of Heru, Horus, at the solstice before this sacred day. Priests fasted, abstaining from meat, wine, and sex. They performed 40-day purification cycles tied to Usar, known as Osiris, as well as Aset. Usar was the god. Aset or Isis was the goddess. And Heru or Horus, their son, was the godling. So you had the black man god, the black woman goddess, and the black child godling. This was practiced and taught before Islam, as we know in Saudi Arabia, before Catholicism or Christianity, before the Hebrews, before Buddhism and Hinduism and Taoism and what have you. Saying this was a simple thing that the black family was the god. So hearing this in this modern day and time, it sounds strange to you because people were taught to worship statues and idols and worship the sun and the moon and the stars and worship their vain imaginations and mystery gods, spooks and spirits and ghosts and leprechauns and Casper the Friendly Ghost flying around, witches on brooms flying around, warlocks and wizards. Tricknology, the 10% literally spooked the world up. All right? Commonly known as Father God, Mother Nature, and their offspring, or as we simply say in the Nation of Islam, the sun, moon, and stars. Foods were restricted, especially before sunrise rituals. This is the closest ancient known practice to a December Ramadan. So thousands of years ago, the people in ancient Kemet, Black Egypt, they were already doing what the Nation of Islam is doing in this day and time. This is why Master Muhammad and Al-Balaj Muhammad is like, we bringing you back the knowledge of yourself. We take you back to our ancient traditions. We think it's some new stuff like, yo, the black man has always been God. We ain't never had no mystery gods, know what I mean? Remember, history is not a science. Ancient civilizations have risen and fallen that we will simply never know about. Ancient Persia, Zoroastrians, the festival called Yalda Night, they celebrated that fast on December the 20th to the 21st, celebrated the birth of Mithra, the spirit of life. Now, the Europeans got this Mithra stuff, and they literally would like dig a hole in the ground and put wood on there with gaps in the wood, and they'll put a big white bull on there, and they'll stab the bull up and kill the bull and cut the testicles, and the blood will come gushing, and they take a shower in the blood of the bull. I'm trying to be too graphic here, but you know, this is the 10% or the Eurocentric interpretation of our ancient traditions. See what I'm saying? So when they used to see Hathor, the black goddess, and she built the best temples on the planet Earth. She getting more money than any man or whatever. She got the best army. It's a lot of chauvinism that's going to come. Male chauvinism. It's a lot of envy and judge. Greeks and Romans is like, yo, who this black girl over here ruling the world? Like, no. I mean, it's a lot of player hating that comes up out of that kind of stuff. Before Yalda's, Persians practiced food restrictions. night-long vigils, fasting from certain meats or impurities, purification ceremonies. This system heavily influenced later Jewish, Christian, and Islamic aesthetic practices. Ancient Mesopotamia, Babylonians and Assyrians, they had what's called the Zagmuk Solstice Festival, which was celebrated in early December and January. It involved a period of ritual abstinence by the king and priests, avoiding rich foods, confession and purification, symbolic deaths and rebirth rites. The ancient Hebrews, early Judaism, in the Second Temple period, for example, the Jews practiced what they considered winter fasts tied to the destruction of the temple. Fasts of the 10th month around December and January. Solstice, adjacent fasts linked to agricultural cycles. Prophets often fast during dark winter periods for purification. These practices influenced later Christian Advent fasts. Early Christianity. Before Christmas became a feast, Advent was originally a 40-day fast in the month of December. Early Christians, of course, it's only 31 months in December. I'm saying they would go longer. Early Christians, 2nd and 6th century practice fasting from sunrise to sunset, very similar to Ramadan. They ate no meat, they drank no wine, and they had no sexual relations. Solstice connection, Christ as the light of the world. Then you had the Greeks and Romans. During the solstice season, Romans, they had the planet Saturn, Saturnalia, and Brumalia. The priests performed pre-solstice fasting, purification rites, food restrictions before offering to Saturn and Bacchus. Greeks, they was the Dionysian mysteries, initiates underwent fastings, abstinence, night vigils during winter, rituals of renewal. Even in ancient African societies outside of Kemet, you had the Nubians, the Ethiopians, and the Kushite groups. They observed pre-solstice purification fasting, abstaining from meat or heavy foods before the solar new year rituals. Ethiopian Orthodox still fast in December, family, by Tsom Nebiat, or fast of the prophets. Summary, civilizations that fasted during the December solstice. Civilization, December solstice practice, the type of fasting. It happened in Egypt, the birth of Horus. The type of fast was a priestly fast or purification. It was practiced in Persia or Iran. It was Yalda, the Mithraic rites. Food restriction, vigils, abstinence, purification. Mesopotamia, Zagmuk, ancient Iraq or Babylon as we call it. And we can go on and on and on and on. But you'll get the book. Let me show you a picture, a chart in the book on page 33 of this book. Okay. Can y'all see that there? All right, what we're looking at here is the March equinox, the December solstice, the June solstice, and the September equinox. The black gods and goddesses use astronomy in 75% of the spiritual sciences, yet they shun astrology as a pseudoscience. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad, I want you to know his position. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad teachings is, when it comes to soothsaying, like astrologers, numerology and all that, Master Muhammad taught him, he said, take them one by one to the chopping block and chop their heads off. That's the messenger. That's how much he despised. Why? The Holy Quran teaches us Allah despises those that peep and mutter. They look at the sun, moon, and stars. And, I mean, it'd be like, in the last days, we're going to let the devil go up there. They're going to let him build a space station, go to the moon, go to Mars. And the Holy Quran says, Allah asks him, you see the sun? Yeah. Did you make that sun? No, I didn't make that sun. Then get your behind back on earth and bear witness to the one that made that sun. You see those stars? Yeah. Did you make them stars? No. Do you see that Kamar, that Badir, that moon? Did you make the moon? No. The black man did that 66 trillion years ago. Then quit fronting like you're the original master of the universe. This universe covering 238 quintillion, 640 quadrillion miles was made by the original man, who is Allah, the supreme being, the black man of Asia. You see? Our 99 Actual Facts teaches us what? Look at this planet. Look at the Earth. You see how it's tilted? Master Muhammad said what? That the Earth's atmosphere is tilted on its axis, 23.5 degrees. That's 23.5 degrees on the plane of its orbit. Its axis is like this, family. It's not straight up, it's tilted. I mean, he teaches us that the circumference of the planet Earth is 24,896 miles. He teaches us that the planet Earth rotates on her axis 1,037 and 1/3 miles per hour. Do the math. You extract that, what do you get? Time is created by motion. The motion that comes from a planet that's 24,896 miles in circumference using pi 3.14 is tilted 23.5 degrees or 23.5 degrees on the plane of its orbit. You extract 23 hours, 56 minutes, 46 seconds in the solar day. That's 365 days, 5 hours, 48 minutes, 46 seconds in the solar year. Islam is mathematics. It's not astronomy. It's not pseudoscience. We can calculate it to an exact. Islam is all wise, right, and exact, family. Study your lessons. Your lessons are your blessings. Page number 34 has another chart in it. It shows you the sun, the ellipse. It shows you the December solstice, and it shows you the June solstice. The true and living gods and goddesses shun astrology as tricknology. They don't focus on signs, they deal with substance. Birth dates are from Satan. The 10% rich slave makers of the poor. The real 5%ers understand that the said nation of Islam has no birth record. It is older than the sun, moon, and stars, over 78 trillion years old, family. Stop listening to the 10% pseudoscientists and come build with the true and living gods. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad, family, gave us a spiritual science. He did not give us a organized religion. You see, don't let people use social media to plagiarize some information and take anything from a book or a website and make you think they got something superior than that which Allah, who came to the person of Master Muhammad, to whom all praises are due forever, revealed through his first, last, and only messenger, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. Islam is our nature. Islam is not our religion. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad, we don't point our finger to become a Muslim. We Muslim by nature. We say Muslim means one who submits to the will of Allah. I mean, he's like, but we don't become a Muslim. You know what I mean? You can only say you're a Muslim if you're saying it according to your nature. Because by nature, you are the God. You are Allah. Don't confuse the name Allah, which means the God, with the name Al-Khaliq, which means the creator. Spooky people is saying Allah and one of his attributes, Al-Khaliq, the creator, is the same thing. No. Allah is the God. The God. God means what? Supreme being. Supreme means highest in authority. Being means that which exists. The highest form of existence that we know of, not what we believe in, what we know of, not what we believe in, what we know about. We know that the sun simply is not over the human being. The moon, the star, the atom, the mouse, the cat, the fish in the sea, the birds that fly in the air, they simply just is not over human beings. Human beings can put the lion in the circus, in the zoo, open the lion mouth, put their head in and be like, da-da, and the lion won't even bite. Human beings are the masters over all the creatures that swim in the oceans, that creep on the earth, that fly over the earth. Human beings are over all the other planets, all the comets and meteorites or asteroids. The only thing over the human being is another human being. When we look at the kingdom and classifications of the devils on human beings, there's all types of human beings. We have to ask ourselves a simple question. Who is the original man? Master Muhammad asked it. He said, The original man is the Asiatic black man, the maker, the owner, the cream of the planet Earth, God of the universe. What is he saying? He's saying that the original man, using the law of vibration, manifests from himself, the man, the womb of man, or the black woman. This black man, this black woman produces the black child. This black man and this black woman, this black child is the original family that walked in the light of the sun. There was no one else here. But in this original family, there was two genes, according to Lost Found Muslim lesson number 2. There was a black gene or a black germ and a brown one. There was a dominant and a recessive. There was a proton and an electron. There was a positive and a negative. And the original man brought out the recessive gene. And from the black, he produced brown. And from the brown, he produced yellow. And from the yellow, he produced red. And from the red, he produced albino. This Asian black man, this world citizen, the Asiatic black man, the maker, the owner, the creator of planet Earth, from the Asian, he produced a Caucasian. He produced the carcass, the dead part of Asia, the dead part of himself, the lowest part of himself. White people are the children from the original people. You call it out of Africa, but we go way back past that. We like out of Africa, that's the devil's tricknology. What about Africa is the mother continent? Pseudoscience. Do the math. Africa was not a continent 300 years ago. Africa became a continent because America and Europe blew up Africa. They blew up the land of Africa and made what they call the Suez Canal. And when they blew up Africa, what did they do? In the 1800s, they separated Africa from Asia Minor. All the way over there was Madagascar. They said Madagascar all the way over there is part of Africa, but Asia's not part of Africa. And Asia's, you could put one foot on Africa and one foot on Asia before the devil came in and blew it up and separated the mother continent. Now you got a continent 12 million square miles. But over there, you got a continent that's big as 16 million square miles of Asia. We are Asiatics. Asia means world, and Ati means tribe or citizen. We're world citizens, family. And this is where people getting spooked up. They like, oh, well, was black people in North America before slavery? Yes. Of course, we was everywhere before slavery. Before slavery is what, 400 or 500 years? Before that, family, we was already in Europe. We was in Australia. We was in Iran, Iraq. We was along the Tigris River. We was along the Mississippi Valley. We was the Olmec civilization. We were the Mexicans. We were the Taino Indians. We are the founders of India. We are the original founders of China, the islands of Hokkaido in Japan. We are the original Filipinos, the Australians, the original Cubans, the original Jamaicans. Anywhere you go on this planet covering 196,940,000 square miles, that's 57,255,000 square miles of land, 139,685,000 square miles of water, for a combined total of 196,940,000 square miles, the original black people was home. This planet, this solar system, this universe is our home. For now, the struggle continues. But I'm confident one day you're going to wake up. One day you're going to get that spooky stuff out of you. Right now, I know they got you spooked out your mind, tricked up. But one day you're going to stop believing in that mystery God. And you're going to see God or goddess in the mirror. And it's going to dawn on you. There is no mystery God. For now, the struggle continues. Assalamu alaikum. Peace to the gods. Peace to the goddesses.